Welcome to another video from East Beds Bushcraft, the home of #survival.
And welcome to another Coffee with Buzz. Now, as you have noticed from the title, this video is about the fire diamond. And the fire diamond is something that you may or may not be familiar with. It's something that my father taught me when I was a kid, and I've just, had that with me in my head for the rest of my life. And the reason I thought I'd do this video is because I've noticed recently and in the past on social media that sometimes when people put videos up of them using traditional methods to light fire, for example, a bow drill, a hand drill, a fire plough, just a striker light, flint and steel, or whatever, that sometimes you'll have people that will comment and say, why are you bothering with this? It seems an awful elaborate thing to do when you can just use a lighter. And they say, I use a lighter, and a lighter's perfectly good. And, why do you waste your time? Which is fair enough, and then you inevitably get a lot of answers and people going off saying blah 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 blah. Anyway, that's fine. I use a lighter on occasions. When I feel the need, I might just say, get a lighter out, bam. But it always reminds me of the fire diamond, and that is something that, as I say, my father taught me on a camping trip way back when I was just a young lad. We went off on a trip, the two of us. My father took me away, just me and him, on a camping trip to a place called Brightlingsea, which is over on the east coast. And that's one thing that I do remember from the trip, that we were both down on the beach, and there's not much of a beach at Brightlingsea if you've ever been there, but he just scratched out in the sand this diamond shape and explained to me the fire diamond when it came to survival skills. It may be that he had been taught that when he was in the Royal Navy, as he was a boy seaman in the Royal Navy, and I inevitably feel that they probably had some kind of survival training, so maybe that's where he got it from, but I don't know. And then years later, I was on a trip to America with some friends, and we were visiting Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. And in North Carolina, we went to a Cherokee Indian reservation in the Smoky Mountains. And if you've seen the Smoky Mountains, or you've been to the States, these forests just go on hundreds of miles. It's just we don't have something like that in the UK. In the UK, in comparison, we don't have forests, we have woods, but I don't think there's, unless you know anything different and you can tell me where to go, please do, put it in the comments, but I don't believe we've got any forests in the whole of the UK where I can walk into a forest and keep walking for a day and not come out the other side, or cross a road or something similar. So there we were in the Smoky Mountains, and we went to this reservation, as I say, and while we were there, the Cherokees were showing us different, they're basically doing a reenactment, if you like, showing us their ancient arts and crafts. They were burning outlaw canoes, showing hunting skills using bows and arrows. I think they also, if I recall, had a blowpipe they were using, and there was all sorts of things. But to cut a long story short, I remember that we were at a traditional dance. They were showing traditional Cherokee dancing, and after that dance, they were having a Q&A, questions and answers, with the tourists that were looking on, and you were getting lots of the normal kind of questions about who taught them the dances, where do they get the feathers for the headdresses from, etc., etc., and so on. And then it all finished and people were peeling out, and I had the opportunity to have a photograph taken with some of the Cherokee, and there was one older gentleman there, and he pointed out to me that I hadn't asked any questions while I was in the audience, and is there anything that he could answer for me? Have I got any questions? And I said yes, but nothing to do with dancing. I was just interested in what he thought was the most important part of firelighting. As I'd seen all these other skills, hunting, etc., being shown, what did he think the most important factor in firelighting was? That he could, he got a tip he could give me. And I remember to this day, he furrowed his brow and then just poked me with his finger in the chest and said one word. And that word was the same word that my father had used all those years before when explaining to me the fire diamond. And it struck me that these two men from completely different countries, thousands of miles apart, felt that the same element, the same important factor, was the most important part of traditional firelighting. And I've been to events. I've been to events, and I've been on survival courses where I've joined other people when they've been doing survival courses. And I'm not knocking anybody, but I've noticed that an awful lot of people will show the fire triangle to explain how to make fire. And the fire triangle is something that is used all the time in health and safety talks when it comes to fire prevention. And so let's first, before we look at the fire diamond, let's have a look at the fire triangle. So here we have our fire triangle. We have a form of ignition, which is our trusty lighter. We have some combustible material, which is a little bit of tissue, and we have oxygen, which is all around. And if you've done any health and safety courses, you'll understand that obviously with these three elements, that's when fire can be a hazard. And as we can see, if we take our trusty lighter and put it to our combustible material, there you go, we have fire. So easy. The fire triangle: a source of ignition, a source of fuel, and oxygen, and that gives you your fire. So there you have your fire triangle. Three elements, and that's what you need to produce fire. Seems straightforward enough. But hang on a minute. Let's go back and look at the fire triangle and see it make fire. Right, so here we have our fire triangle again with our three elements. However, let's try and get our three elements to make a fire. Okay, let there be fire. Okay, fire, come to life. Izzy wizzy, let's get busy, give me a fire. Doesn't seem to be working. Let's try something else. Incendio. Nope, still nothing. Oh well, that's the fire triangle for you. Now the fire triangle has a problem when it comes to producing fire in a bushcraft, and especially a survival situation. That's where the fire diamond comes into its own, because you need that extra little element. So let's go and have a look at the fire diamond at long last. So here's the fire triangle, but we're going to now turn this into the fire diamond. Right, we have our diamond, but we need to put our missing element in there. There's our missing element, you. It's you that my father taught me when I was young. It was you that was the word that the Cherokee Indian tapped me on the chest. And that's simply because without you, you can't make fire, especially in a survival situation. You need to know how to produce fire. Now I'm present, I can take my lighter, I can take my flammable material, and we have fire. We would not have fire if it wasn't for me being able to produce it. You are the most important part of the fire diamond. So, there you have it, the fire diamond. You can have the fire triangle as much as you like, but the fire triangle actually won't produce fire on its own. You need that extra element, which is you. You are the most important part of fire lighting. It's as simple as that. So for all those people who say, why do you waste your time, why do you bother, why not just get your lighter out, light your fire, be done with it, fine, I understand that, and I'm not having to go at anybody for that attitude. But what I'm trying to explain is when it comes to bushcraft, and probably even more importantly survival, if you're in a survival situation, the fact that you've practiced many different ways to light a fire, and if you can do that, then it's going to make the whole thing a hell of a lot more easy for you if you're ever presented with that situation. By all means use your lighter, but I would highly recommend practice those other skills, because at the end of the day you're not going to produce a fire unless you have developed those skills yourself. Anyway, that's it for Coffee with Brothers this time. Thank you for watching and enjoy yourself out there. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the East Beds Bushcraft channel. See you all again soon.